jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
Shout out to the hottest chat in the MFN game. A-side official. No negotiation needed. Period. You already know. The first in the building. Jamal Neezy on deck. I'm first, sucker. Salute WCS. Salute. Chat, man. Salute to you, brother. Good to see you back in the building. You already know what it is, Nazy. Carlos is in the building once again. WCS, salute, man. Salute to you, brother. Big shout out to the ones that's on deck, man. Hit the like button on your way in the door. The OG himself, Mr. Golden, is in the building. Salute to you, OG. How you feeling, man? Jay on deck, man. In the building, I see you. Salute. You already know. So for those of you that's coming in, man, you know, and refusing to give proper courtesy, if you can do me a favor and do what you do. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that favor is, attention, standing around, listening, you know, hitting the like button, I appreciate you. If you choose to donate to the channel, then, you know, the Cash App is right there, and you can hit the replay for it, okay? This is a Hot Grease Chronicles, man, EP 241, 2024. Over. Do you copy? Spence rematch. The shocking update on Crawford Spence return. We'll get to that. Haney on deck. Bernie RIPS, BBS. Ability to make fights. Let me start with Devin Haney. All right. Everybody know who Devin Haney is right now, undefeated. But rumor has it. No, let me even back up a little bit further. Salute to Devin for putting on the windshield wipers and wiping away all the mud that was in front of him for having a mediocre resume. He has fought Jojo Diaz. He's fought Kambosos twice. Not just any twice. Picked up the undisputed titles and defended them in that man's backyard. Then turned back around and defend his titles once again versus a guy who was involved in so much controversy at one point in time because he petitioned to be the franchise champion, which pretty much prevented Devin from being next up, okay? Even though we already heard the story about that. Then he went up a division and fought another champion and beat him in Regis Prograis. Now, the word I'm getting and the rumor I'm hearing is that potentially, possibly, nothing for certain, that Devin Haney may be facing the one and only Cincinnati's own Adrien the Problem Broner. Now, before you get all out of pocket, it's a possibility. Okay, it's a possibility. Okay, for those of you that shake your head, think about this. Think about this, just like me. Think logically. Think intelligently. Calm down. Process this information and data with patience and understanding. Y'all may look at Adrien Broner, a four-weight world champion, and you have to take this in consideration that if his name is coming up to fight Devin Haney, that's not such a fight I'm going to frown upon. The reason why I'm saying that with Haney is because he's pretty much earned a soft touch, and we really that's a soft touch or not. We don't know if freaking Adrien Broner is gonna level change and have the best fight of his life. But what we can say about Haney is he's beat Jojo Diaz, he beat Kambosos to become an undisputed, wiping every title off the table. During the franchise belt era, every title, defended the title against the same guy he took the titles from. Then turn around and beat a guy who's been on the pound for pound list forever and a day, Lomachenko. Then he beat a two-time champion in Regis Prograis. I think that's warranted that he can fight somebody like Adrien Broner. I ain't gonna lie. I'm being absolutely organic about this shit. It's no way, no how I'm gonna refute that. Because you think about how many hitters that he's faced in a row, right? And for the name AB to pop up, rumored, I'm nodding my head. I'm like, okay, we can take that. I like, what's gonna happen with the trash talking. People have to understand that Manny Pacquiao, 8th division champion, whenever it came for him to face somebody, people always kind of had this benefit of the doubt expression on their face, like, okay, all right. You know what I'm saying? All right, we'll get him. That's Manny Pacquiao. The same right here. Adrien Broner, we know he been out doing what he do, but Adrien Broner has never been stopped. He still has, boxing prestige to his name. He does, man. He's a four-weight world champion. He's a quality opposition. And, man, I don't mind one bit. I don't have no criticism if Adrien Broner is going to be the next one in line to fight freaking Devin Haney. I'm just saying, bro. As without any petty to it, I don't see anything wrong with it. Seriously, I don't see anything wrong with that fight. Because how many fights you can fight in a row that's former champions? I mean, you can start all the way back from Linares. You know what I'm saying? You can go up from Linares on up. You know what I'm saying? You're fighting champions all the way up to Regis Prograis. Yeah, you can fight Adrien Broner, who hasn't never been stopped, and he still has that freaking that bragging that he has that braggadocious stamp that he hasn't been stopped. Nobody's been able to stop him. His record is not unblemished, but he is a four-weight world champion, future Hall of Famer. People can say what they want, but Hall of Fame is not based off if you didn't drink during your career, or you maintained discipline in your career, or did you attend church every Sunday of at least 6 months out of a year? Did you sit up here and quote at least 10 verses? You know what I'm saying? 10 verses from 10 different scriptures while you was a boxer. That doesn't get you in the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? Accolades, credentials, and what performances you was a part of that people remember the most. And if this fight is to be on the horizon, I'm all for it, man. I like it. Real talk. I like, because I think somebody who has fought that many champions in a row, I mean, they should be able to selectively, pick a fight like Adrien Broner, being that, he's been he had this many fights in the last several years. But if by chance that fight is happening, I'm curious to know where it's going to be. Once again, a colleague of mine. We was chopping it up. And, if the fight, we know down here in the A, we haven't had a big boxing match in a long time. Two black fighters coming down here would be good to go. Especially AB, who fell apart when he was supposed to fight at the smaller arena, and his fight fell apart. Him coming back down here, and Devin coming down here for the second time, because the only time Devin came down here was way back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So him and AB come down here, spark it up a little bit. Man, ATL is starving, absolutely starving for boxing right now. You might not hear too many people talking about it on the airways and shit. They need to, because we are absolutely being treated like a fourth and fifth wheel when it comes to freaking location selection. Nobody even think about bringing big boxing cards down here. I'm talking about top rank, Golden Boy, Matchroom. I mean, we ain't getting shit, man. They don't even show us no respect down here. We got room. Tank did his thing. Salute the Tank, bro. Tank showed us mad love, man. That's why I show it back. Tank showed us mad love, man. He gave us Barrios. You know what I'm saying? He gave us Gamboa. You know what I'm saying? Tank showed us some love. Real talk. We had some other fighters come down here. Shakur Stevenson, Jamel Herring. We had some other fights down here, but what I'm saying right now is I think that's a good fight. I think, when it comes to not having a tough fight, let's just say the Ryan Garcia situation. It would have been good to see Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, but money, of course, got to be right. And we really don't know the reason why why they parted ways the way they did before things really got hot and heavy in negotiations. But it's neither here nor there. If AB's the one to come back, I think he's going to make a pretty good check with Devin. And people have to look at that. Devin earned his stripes now. You know what I'm saying? Even I have to say that. You know what I'm saying? He earned his stripes. It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it that, he's a star in the sport right now. And he's pretty much caught up. You know what I'm saying? Took him a minute, but he's finally caught up to Teofimo Lopez. But it's still a little separation there. He's caught up, though. And he did it in tremendous fashion by becoming undisputed and then moving up to his second division in his first fight and winning a title. What separates them is that, Tio has them two lineal titles, bro. You know what I'm saying? He has them two lineal titles. And, his resume is just a bit better. But at the end of the day, if they fight, they fight. I'm talking about them two, Tio and Haney. But right now, Haney freaking Broner, yeah, I'm on deck with that. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to my colleague who, dressed up and gave me, that information, conversed a little bit about a possible rumor. I like that rumor, though. You know what I'm saying? I like that. Not gonna lie, Miss AB, in the sense of his mouthpiece, I always tuned in when he talked trash. I can tell people I've seen AB, man. I've seen AB not be on a fight card and him just walking through the place and people want to take pictures with him. One thing is underrated about AB is his intelligence. He's a smart dude, man. Seriously, not just from that one-on-one interview he did with what's his name? I forgot the white dude that was interviewing. I forgot. Y'all put it in the chat when you get it. But he broke that shit down. He articulated that shit, broke it down real nice, cold. He said, "Have you ever won a championship?" He broke that shit down because he was trying to basically devalue Adrien Broner's 4-weight division. But he's smarter than people give him credit for. And like I was saying, man, I was feeling some type of way when he finally gave me an interview. You know what I'm saying? Because I thought he was one of those guys that unless he knew you, he wasn't gonna talk to you. But he gave me an interview, man. And he just didn't give me a shitty interview either. He just gave me an interview and talked this shit for a little bit, and then he bounced. I can respect that. You know what I'm saying? But whatever he got going on in his personal life, We always hope him to get better and get back on deck. Like Carlos said, his mouthpiece is bar none. The shit he says, man, I'm telling you, AB has been a part of some classic sound bites. Even when he sat up there and said what he said to Leonard Ellaby and Al Bernstein. Oh my God. I need that brush my hair after the fight. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I see you, Carlos. You know what I'm saying? I see you. Yes, sir. That old vintage AB. You know what I'm saying? The Mexicans, Caucasians, the Africans. You know what I'm saying? The vintage AB, man. At least 90% of the Hall of Famers had some type of controversy, whether major or minor. They're former convicts in the Hall of Fame, I believe as well, but boxing don't care about none of that. Hey, well said. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Drop that grease, man. Sprinkle that little water in the grease. You know what water do when it meets grease? Shit start getting out of hand. It start getting out of hand, shawty. You know what I'm saying? That shit be popping on your skin. God damn. You ever want to get a pot of grease to talk to you? Just run your hand under the faucet a little bit and then flick that water in that hot grease. Get your ass ate up. For real. That grease say, nigga, you got the... No, hell no. Devin says you can't have a fight in the A. The boxers would never make it. Once they hit some of the restaurants, it's a wrap, shawty. Yeah, they got to have some disciplines to wait after the weigh-in. You know what I'm saying? And then not only restaurants, color, they got to chill with the strip clubs and all that, all the side, you know what I'm saying, recreational venues that they can attend, you know what I'm saying, and they may end up, just getting a little bit out of hand and not rest up correctly, because this is the city. You touch them souls on the ground, you might stumble, inside Magic City, where your pockets end up not being pretty. You came in heavy, left light. Nobody forced you to do it. You just say you was there to enjoy the night. That's what you did. You're up there telling people, hey, man, what you doing up here? Don't you got to fight? Yeah, man, I'll be all right. I'll be all right. You on weight right now? Damn, you looking... I'm good, man. You should be in a hotel resting, dog. That would be good considering Devin has yet to fight on the East Coast. Devin has fought on the East Coast, okay? He has, believe it or not, early in his career. I'll tell you the fight. All right, he has. I'll tell you right now. Who the hell? Hold up for a second. He fought in November 2017. He fought Hamza Simpewo. Okay, Simpewo. And the rest of the fights with TJ. You know what I'm saying? Early in his career. But he fought at Buckhead Fight Club. You know what I'm saying? Buckhead Fight Club. He has fought on the East Coast. Just to be clear, everybody who may have thought he didn't. That's why it'd be cool for him to roll back through. You know what I'm saying? The can man, Mexicans, Americans, for real. Classic vintage AB, bro. Classic. So hopefully Haney can get that shit, taken care of. If that's the next fight, I like it. I like that fight, man. Cause he's fought a lineup of champions, and he pretty much did what he had to do with them titles when he got them. He got them. He won them, defended them. He defended them twice. You know what I'm saying? So best wishes to them making that fight if it's indeed on the schedule. Bernie, the boxer, Team Crawford, salute to him. And once again, I have to put this disclosure up there because you never know. You know what I'm saying? You never know. I have to put that disclosure up there. And I want to play a small snippet that was dropped in my inbox by my colleague, Shaw News, that I thought that it was quite hilarious. Because, when you mention certain people's name on here, they act like they're off limits. No, they're absolutely accessible, for real. You know what I'm saying? Because what he said on his live stream had validation to it, merit. It had credence. Because at one point in time, I would explain to you why I was so disappointed that he attempted to do this. Okay? He attempted to do something of this sort. So I'm going to play a video, right? I want y'all to basically just collect the data. That's all I want you to do. Don't overthink it. But this is Bernie the Boxer. I'm citing him. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I ain't trying to not follow protocol in this motherfucker. Saying, but I just want y'all to collect the data that he's saying and see if he has a point or he don't. You know what I'm saying? I want to see if he has a point or he don't. I want you all to let me know, the hottest chat in the MFing game. I want you to know I want y'all to let me know if he has a point or not. Because this is where it's going to get, you know, the hot grease is going to start to bubble just a little bit more than what people want. Okay? So listen in.
He ain't trying to make no, because Blue Blood can't make no deals.
Can't make.
Shout out to Blue Blood, though.
Can't make.
Skin says, didn't Blue Blood try to make the Crawford fight before Boots that bill? Man, Blue Blood ain't hitting no shit, man. Blue Blood ain't making no deals happen. I don't care what they say. Blue Blood ain't making no deals happen. He ain't trying.
So that was Bernie the Boxer. And that was the clip from my colleague, compeer, Shaw News. Okay? And the reason why I think that is so important that Bernie the Boxer put that out there, it's not to so-called denigrate or criticize with malicious intent. That's not the purpose why I feel that this freaking clip that Bernie the Boxer did, it has more than that. It holds more weight than that. The reason why I'm saying is that a boxer that I had the opportunity to cover, you know, and like I said before, people warn me about, you know, what to expect down here in the boxing game, ATL. When I was covering these boxers and nobody else was, all right, it was one boxer in Brian Norman Jr. that, you know, respectfully, you know, his calm demeanor, his work ethic, and his courtesy, you know, that we had with one another was good to go at that time, right? And when I seen this guy, BBS, you know, bring him up, I said, you know, that's you know, what is this that I'm looking at? You know how you see somebody do something out of the ordinary, you say, what's the purpose? It doesn't seem genuine. So when I seen them trying to bring Brian Norman Jr. up for this BLK Prime and talking about he wanted to face, he basically searched long and hard. Now pay attention to a tactical freaking delivery from someone like myself. When he brought Brian Norman Jr. up to the freaking lens and say he had been searching long and hard, y'all, for somebody to be the face of boxing, right? And I'm saying to myself, where did this come from? Who's basically pushing him to come on here? I didn't believe none of that shit. None of it at all. But this person was perpetrating like they was actually going to make a fight happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about Brian Norman Jr. right now. He came on deck and they was acting like he was, you know, BBS was acting like he was going to make, you know, this guy the face of BLK Prime and he was going to get him some fights. And we really going to freaking boost this up. I didn't believe absolutely none of it. None of it, bro. Because it just didn't seem like it was prepared well to present to the public. It seemed like it was basically rushed. You know what I'm saying? It was impulsive. It was once again just to put somebody's name out there, you know, for exposure. But at that time, the way I thought about it is that they got the wrong fighter. Because I thought, you know, him coming out of nowhere, there was no previous relationship between BBS and Brian Norman Jr. So no one can really put Brian Norman Jr., attach him to any type of freaking unity of BBS just because he was basically out here acting like he had a higher position at BOK Prime than he actually had. And also, I couldn't understand what he meant by he searched long and hard for a fighter to be the face of BOK Prime. Well, you never let us know that you was looking for a fighter to be the face of Prime. Then, the wildest part about that is that no one quite knew what was going on behind the scenes with Brian Norman to even believe any of this to be true. You know what I'm saying? People didn't really know any information, who he was linked up to managerial wise or whatever. None of that. So from the aesthetic point of view of Blue using his platform to basically try to sell this to the public, those of you that didn't know anything about Brian Norman, then you might say, oh man, he's making fights. That's just like, you know, we can go forward and talk about the 7-Eleven shit. But I'm going to keep it on this right quick. So I remember him saying that he looked long and hard. And it was quite confusing because I was thinking to myself, why did you look long and hard for a fighter down here in the South? You got fighters in your backyard. You got fighters in your backyard, bro, that you could have pulled this stunt with. But I know, you know, the blind lead the blind. You know what I'm saying? Fool from a distance can't tell each other apart. And when this came up, Brian Norman was somewhat like an innocent freaking victim in this a little bit. Because though, you know, when he came on there, he didn't even seem overjoyed about it because BOK Prime was nothing special. It wasn't a large footprint in boxing. And what was the money going to look like for somebody like Norman Jr.? Was it so enticing that they was going to sign him to a multi? Did you sell that to the public? No, he didn't. He didn't sell it to the public. But moving forward, this is where it gets confusing to a lot of people. He was down here in the South looking long and hard for Brian Norman Jr. But it came a time, you know, dealing with the 7-Eleven incident when Crawford, you know, was goddamn spinning the block. And he caught somebody slipping out of 7-Eleven. I guess he snatched him up by his collars, had his feet dangling, and said, yeah, how you doing, buddy? It's good to see you. I'm on both sides of the street now. And then all of a sudden, you know, it gets like this whole big farce of a story come out here in his room and say, you see that 7-Eleven right out my window? That's where I got levitated. That's where I seen the champ. Me and him had a confrontation. He talked to me. He didn't know. I was telling him he didn't know I was a silent partner. But peep this out. This man was a silent partner who was down here in the South looking for the face of boxing to be the face of boxing. He was looking for a boxer to be the face of boxing when it came to BOK Prime. But then when all this Crawford shit started to take place with BOK Prime, right? When he left the negotiation, he's running around here pretending once again that he's going to get Boots Ennis and try to link this fight up. Even Bozy name dropped BBS. And I'm saying to myself, if you really was that type of mind in boxing, you could have forecasted and looked ahead. I'm talking about, let me think way out there. Let me try to use my ESP. Let me try to telegraph this. Let me plan this properly. I'm looking for the face of BOK Prime, a boxer. I need a name. Boots wasn't a name that you could have looked at, but yet you try to turn around and say, oh, Crawford, who's fighting for BOK Prime, let me go and get Boots and convince the people that I'm trying to make this fight over there at BOK Prime with Boots and have whoever he had on the phone listening like it was a big deal. You could have got Boots into that position because Crawford wasn't planning on being the face of anything. Crawford was just over there to have a fight. That's it. And he was going to revisit Errol Spence. Boots is in your backyard. You try to pick up Boots and convince everybody that you was taking him over there to try to get a Crawford fight made. But yet you had paraded Brian Norman Jr. on here earlier talking about you searched long and hard to be the face of boxing and you couldn't get him one fight and the shit never materialized. That's the problem I have. It's bad that it was him because he's a low-key type of dude. If he was going to get any type of exposure, it should have been good exposure. It should have been positive exposure. You know what I'm saying? And I know they thought the positive aspect, but when these dudes get with these old heads, right, that's been on here for a long time and they feel that they, you know, they got a popular name and I want to fuck with them, they too get a reality check. You know what I'm saying? Because I never could understand why you just didn't try to get Boots Ennis to begin with to be the face, and then that would have linked up real nice if you was trying to make anything happen with Crawford. I just didn't know why you didn't search your backyard before you went outside the grid and was down here in the dirty South. Who suggested that bullshit to you? That's what I want. I want to talk to them. I got a pretty idea, but who suggested that bullshit to you? You never should have brought that man on here. And that's what Bernie's at with it. He's saying you can't make no freaking fights because, you know, when it comes down to whatever the experience level is, there's certain other people that I believe that can have type of advantage when it comes to making fights and making phone calls and doing it the proper way. See, when you go to fights and talk to people and it's off the record, you pick up and you catalog and you bookmark, you catalog, you collect the data, you catalog, bookmark. See, BBS don't do the proper, he don't follow the proper channels as a professional to make fights of this magnitude. He tried to sit up here, he did, bamboozle y'all into believing that, for one, he was going to have Brian Norman Jr. as the face of freaking BLK Prime. Two, he thought he was going to bamboozle you all by pretending that a fight would be made. And Stephen Espinosa said it was really nothing. But yet you're going to waste people's time believing that, yeah, I'm trying to get Boots, and you want to bypass people who are considered managers. Just like, for instance, Demetrius Andrade. And, you know, supposedly, you know, he wanted to get an interview with Demetrius Andrade without going through his people. That's not professional. And that's a fact. He can't deny that. That's a fact. You can't bypass people's managers as if they don't count. That's unprofessional. That's how you get blackballed. That's how you get blacklisted. And see, when you out here half-assing it, you can't have someone give you the title of media marketing agent by a prominent network. Okay? That's a big part of Bernie experiencing what he experienced to bring him to the conclusion to criticize BBS, because he understands everything that was going on with it. When you're up here, this little charade, like it's a goddamn elementary talent show, and you take two freaking boxers, two undefeated boxers, and you strike out with both of them, you just playing a game. You just sitting up here with motherfucking costume on, man, pretending, you acting. You blew it with Brian Norman Jr. and you blew it with Boots because nobody was believing Boots and Crawford was going to fight. Nobody was believing BLK Prime was going to host that fight. It's information you didn't even get in contact with Bozy. Before anything, I'm pretty sure Shaw News would have handled it this way. First of all, I need to talk to the manager. I need to talk to Jerron and his manager, if he has one. I need to clear that up. I just don't go to the daddy who's a trainer. I need to follow proper protocol and procedures to make this look professional. Next, we need to try to understand some things. Who is Ennis signed with? It was no proper clarity on who Ennis was signed with. Come to find out, Bozy said they wasn't signed to Showtime, but they have loyalty to Showtime. So in reality, they were signed with Showtime. You know, it was just one of those head nods and verbal agreements and loyalty type freaking lifelines that was going on here. That lifeline is very important because Bozy didn't break the lifeline. He wasn't willing to say, fuck it, I'm going over here to BLK Prime and fuck anything else. See, BLK Prime wanted Boots to come over there and do some business. And his pops wasn't trying to hear that. He said, no, we got loyalty to Showtime. So with that loyalty, that's where BBS should have had a conversation and collected all that information. But when you cut corners and you don't know the proper procedures and you don't care about how you look, that's the results you get. Who cares about all the front side? Who care about the front side shit you was fronting? You know what I'm saying? When you was fronting about, you know, putting it out to the public and just, oh, we're going to do everything. We're going to really, you know, promote you. We're going to do everything. How? Can somebody tell me how? How is you going to promote Brian Norman Jr.? How is you going to get Bozy Ennis and Boots Ennis over the BLK Prime if you didn't know prior to the intent of BLK Prime and Desmond and them? They're not going to just sign Boots without trying to get him for a 2 fight. But there's no way they're going to do 2 fights if Boots over here with Showtime. Then you want to get the president of Showtime to come on the phone, and you got all these freaking people hanging out on the line just to say, hey, so-and-so was on the line. That's unprofessional, bro. Who does business like that? Who does business? That is why you're getting the energy that you're getting from Bernie the Boxer. He wasn't lying. What fight have you put together? What fighter do you have on the scene? See, that's why I know from a guy I can vouch for. I seen him in at work. I know he's a professional. Underrated. He has one of the most exciting electric fighters out there. You know what I'm saying? Electric Boogie Woogie. You know, he got your hot Tucker that he was able to make the arrangements and have that man go out there and spar in Texas and all that in front of Jay Prince and them and end up getting that man to fight under the bright lights. That's professionalism. Not only that, still at this point in time, he's on the stage of the bright lights. He's fought in front of the lens on a major ESPN network. People know who he is, right? And also there's a brand behind that. You know what I'm saying? There's a brand behind that. A professional brand that's being built behind the scenes for a fighter who came on deck at 17 and now is 21. See, Blue, you don't have that, but yet y'all cats will sit up here and say, well, Bernie was wrong for that, just because y'all BBS fans. But he wasn't wrong because he actually experienced the moment. He's Team Crawford. He's over there. He's over there in that Omaha crater. He knows what's going on with the BBS. I mean, the B&B. He know what went on with BBS during that time. They probably had many conversations about that. It was absolutely nothing to it. But yet on the YTC, the clown show was alive, actively alive, and working. The circus was out here performing, and that makes it look bad. I'm just telling you the truth. Like how do we separate certain things when it comes to, content creators? Then how do we separate the who's who, right? When it comes to calibrating individuals who's actually doing work in boxing. It's a separation. You can do live streams and all that and talk about boxing. But when it comes to the individuals who's actually making moves behind the scene with the big dogs, you know what I'm saying, with the prominent networks, who's able to communicate with these people that's at the prominent networks, where does that fit at in the chain of command? You know what I'm saying? If you do it sloppy, you're going to get comments like Bernie. And he ain't wrong. You do it sloppy, you're gonna get comments and criticism like Burn the Boxer put out there. And once again, for those of you that may not have heard, let me go back here and put this disclosure up here, right? And let me go up here and let you hear it one more time before we get to the transition.
He ain't trying to make no, cause Blue Blood can't make no deals.
Can't make.
Shout out to Blue Blood though.
Can't make.
It says, didn't Blue Blood try to make the Crawford fight before Boots at BL? Man, Blue Blood ain't hitting no shit, man. Blue Blood ain't making no deals happen. I don't care what they say. Blue Blood ain't making no deals happen.
I mean, he said he ain't making no deals happen. But I know for an absolute FACTZZZ, as if I'm Charlo, I do know Shot News had made a deal happen. Now, deals can be a plethora of many avenues in boxing, but just to get a fighter signed, it's not many content creators who claim the fame is all the views and subs, but they can't get a fighter signed. They don't have a fighter that they have basically a fighter that has vouched for them. You know what I'm saying? A fighter who is absolutely vouched, concurred, agreed that person got them on deck, and now they fight in front of millions. You feel me? That's higher than any other situation that you can try to use in a debate. You know what I'm saying? I can look at it like this. Shot News can have 10 people in his chat, but when it comes to what he's doing in boxing, it's almost like he has 10,000 in his chat. Because if you're incapable of having the common knowledge to work with these fighters and be successful at bringing a fighter on deck the proper way and building that fighter up, and you know that you got a special fighter and you're at these fights supporting these fighters, you at the gym supporting these fighters, not just when it's like, oh man, let me show my face and get an interview, when you're not even supporting the fighters in your backyard. You know what I'm saying? People are going to start questioning you. And I think that's what Bernie is doing. Bernie was just giving you criticism and questioning, like, how can you say he attempted to make a fight? Attempts don't count. Attempts don't count. It's just like a realtor up here telling people, oh man, I almost had that house right there. You know what it was? It was a $1.5 million home. I almost had it, man, but when I called, the listing was already taken. Man, you know what? I almost had like a $700,000 home, man. What happened? Man, I hit him up and somebody had already said they was on the contract, but I tried to go in there, but through everything and not all that, I couldn't really stop them if they was on the contract. So I waited. And by the time I waited, somebody else said, it's an excuse for every deal, that any possible deal that you could have closed. It comes down to a point. If you really want to grow on the real side, the side that says that you're a shaker and mover in the sport of boxing, you have to get somebody. You know what I'm saying? You have to get somebody on your toolage. It doesn't matter how many times that you say you're a manager. If that manager doesn't have a fighter under their belt that they're attached to, that they are seeing in public, and they're doing videos with that fighter, and that fighter is basically vouching, building up their credibility because the shit is real, then I don't know what to tell y'all. It's something that y'all can't comprehend. And truth be told, I wouldn't be mad at what Bernie said, because he was telling the absolute truth. Was the criticism constructive? It was nothing constructive about the criticism, because the criticism itself deserved to be just critical. Because when you do sloppy work, you get sloppy results. I'm just being honest. You do sloppy work, you get sloppy results, bro. If you can't have nobody vouch for you on the high end of a network and deem you the media marketing agent, just a title, a professional title. Not only that, to be linked up with a fighter that's one of the most entertaining fighters, even the boxing voice. Ness has said that Jahad Tucker is entertainment. Entertainment. I suggest you listen to the ones like you have common sense and not just listen to the ones that you think all those AI numbers that they have in their chat is what's going to validate something that they don't have. A lot of these cats say they part of managerial and they doing big things in boxing. But the only one that I see really moving with fighters per the title is my guy Shaw News, man. He's out here doing it. He has one of the most electrifying fighters in the game right now. I met his whole freaking team, man. You know what I'm saying? So I don't expect people to come out here and say that about Shaw News. I don't expect Bernie the Boxer to go out here and say, nah, he ain't gonna make no fight. He can't sign no fighters. He ain't a part of the boxing game. He ain't did shit up to this point. You better think long and hard. Because, you know, when you allow people to act like they know all these people, they got all the connects in the world, they really can't make no calls to make shit happen. If a fighter come in your city and they need something, they need some work or they need a place to spar, can somebody call you and you be the link to get them where they need to be? Can you be their tour guide? Are you willing to come by and pick them up and take them where they need to be? Can you provide them concierge service? Can you be that person? But shout out to Bernie the Boxer for lighting that. You know what I'm saying? It's good to keep fires burning sometimes, especially in the winter. You know what I'm saying? You need that warmth. And sometimes you get too close to them fires, you get a reminder. Real talk. He reminded us of the travesty that happened with BOK Prime twice, y'all. Twice. One with Brian Norman Jr., and you didn't give that man the desired service that he deserved. You know what I'm saying? You paraded him around. It didn't make shit happen. And then two, the shit with Crawford, telling everybody this damn fantasy story on how, you know, Crawford was out there shadow boxing in the streets of Jersey. All of a sudden you looked out the window. Hey, I'm going out here to 7-Eleven. I think I could have sworn I seen Bud Crawford out there. You go in there and hurry up. You come out with a Slurpee and a Chico stick. And all of a sudden your feet just dangling off the ground. What is this about, man? No, don't ask. Don't talk. Just listen. Bud, put me down, man. Come on. I never said anything ill about you. I said you used to be my favorite. I mean, god damn. My absolute favorite. But not anymore. Not anymore. But shout out to Bernie, man. And shout out to the News by Shaw News, man. That's a real hitter out there. And one thing nobody's gonna have, can say about WCS is that I jumped on the wagon before the wagon was even started getting motion going. You know what I'm saying? You know, much respect to who is Jahad Tucker on IG, man. Much respect. Hope the operation goes down. But Bernie the Boxer was absolutely correct though on that. And hopefully nobody, feel no type of way about what he said. You know what I'm saying? He kept it light. He just said what he said. And the reason why I said is that, like, you got boxers in your backyard, but yet you're looking in the South for a boxer to be the face of BOK Prime, which is basically trying to blossom into the boxing game. And then you bring along Boots Ennis, who was there at the same time that you was looking for freaking Brian Norman Jr. And you try to bring him over there because Crawford left the negotiations with Spence, and now you're trying to bypass managers and shit and trying to do it all sloppy and indirect. You still got to talk to his manager, no matter who he was signed with. You just can't call up his pops and act like his pops can do business without following the proper channels. So you brought the Boots name up in there because that allowed him a little window of clout. But yet you failed at an attempt using two recognizable names in boxing. It doesn't work like that. That's a waste of fucking time. You know what I'm saying? You cannot be trying to bypass people that you don't have a good relationship with, you don't like, or you don't want to talk to, and think you're gonna take the credit for making a fight of that magnitude by cutting corners and bypassing the proper protocol of individuals who are role players. You know, these motherfuckers have teams for a reason. Why do you think Spence went out there and hired Adrien? Because somehow, some way, he was turned on to a lot of money that he was missing. So now he had to fill the void and get somebody to get him to the finish line. And when he's at the finish line, he's feeling a whole lot better than he did that particular year when Crawford walked away in 2022. He sent out a tweet, I feel like I'm being played. Well, guess what? When I saw Brian Norman come out here, I feel like I was being played. I did. I feel like I was being played. Because, you know, if I would have damn mentioned something, they said, oh, you just hate, man. You just hating because he's able to do it. He ain't doing shit. And he didn't do shit. And then turn around, same thing. If I would have said something, this fight ain't happening. I did say that. And then people out here jumping the gun. Talking about, oh, just imagine. We can tell our kids that we made Crawford and Boots, BLK Prime. Nothing has left the ground yet, y'all. Nothing. And they up here talking about, oh, man, the YTC. No. They was trying to use the YTBC at that time. The YTBC has made one of the biggest fights in boxing. Wow, Blue did it. No. Let me remind you. You may be feeling the sensation as blue balls because you overthought the process. You know what I'm saying? And you got that knot in your gut because you're like, I had so much hope. Ouch. I had so much hope that this was going to play out. You know what I'm saying? Toby, Bartlett on deck. What's good with it, brother? Mr. International in the building. Man, shout out to the Wild Dog, man. What it do? The Wild Dog, Captain Chaos on deck, man. Salute to you, man. Where you been at, bro? I mean, I know. I'm just going through the conversation, man. Blue was talking shit about Paulie, but BLK Prime made Blue work with Paulie. Yeah. See, man, the Wild Dog be in the goddamn shadows, man. Just goddamn waiting to go on the motherfucking hunt, dog. You know what I'm saying? Animals be disappearing and shit. They can't understand why. Can we have a beast on our hands that we don't have on the list? Could it be something new? Could it be something that we thought was extinct? We're finding a lot of carcasses. They're showing up. Who can it be? Wild Dog out there. Arnold Brown on deck. What's good, W says? Salute to the hottest chat in the MF and game. Appreciate you, dog. Shout out to Smoke Session Sports and Entertainment. Salute to you, Pops. What's good, man? Shout out to my guy, the News by Shaw News Sauce Experience, man. The one that doesn't take strikes when he's at bat. You know what I'm saying? Like some other people. You know what I'm saying? They come out there with the wrong tool to begin with. This is professional leagues, not freaking a plastic bat that you bought from Walmart. You know what I'm saying? A 3 for $5 special. And you're trying to hit a 90 miles per hour fastball. Stop. You know what I'm saying? Keep dropping the sauce on them, man. Bernie the Boxer Voice, Blue can't make no deals. You know, this is no shot at Blue. Just like, you know, Bernie said, shout out to Blue, man. I don't have nothing to shout him out for, but I'm just saying, it's no shot at him. It's just facts. You got to learn how to do shit professionally. You know what I'm saying? Salute Toby, UK Team Tucker official, no doubt. Shout out to Casanova, man. Boots don't really want the big fights. They look to dominate 147 and make a name for himself rather than lose his older bud. We're going to get on that. We're about to get on the Bud situation. You know what I'm saying? The Bud and Spence situation with a side of Boots. You know what I'm saying? With a side of Boots on that motherfucker. You know? Shout out to True Media Boxing Radio, man. Peace to everyone in chat. W says salute. Salute to you, man. You know, once again, you know I did a live on freaking True Media Radio. But, you know, like I said, I apologize. We got it straight. You know what I'm saying? We handle it as men. And, you know, it's all good, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. The man hit me behind the scene, and we zipped it up. You know what I'm saying? So respect to you, brother. Salute to the chat and Showtime Shaw and WCS. No doubt, man. Good to see you in the building, man. I hope you already ate, man. Don't start goddamn gnawing on motherfuckers' goddamn calf muscles and shit, man. You haven't been around in a minute. You know what I'm saying? You haven't been around in a minute. I don't know if you ate prior to attendance. Next Boxing Voice said, made for TV Tucker, official boxing business, electric boogie. No doubt, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just putting it out there. Like, how many times people are going to pretend to be in a position, but yet, okay, you're trying to prove to people that you hold a much higher spot than the YouTube community. And that higher spot is actually doing business in the sport of boxing. I'm not talking about business. I'm talking about actually maneuvering and being a part of the entire process. Communication, admin, logistics, all this shit. You're playing a prominent role into closing a deal. That's very, very important. That's very, very important to me. And like I said before, I know the numero uno solid one that has made that happen. Even before it happened, I already knew. You know what I'm saying? I already knew this guy. So when he started to make moves and progress, can't nobody tell me different. I've seen this shit play out. While others was looking at freaking numbers in the chat and talking about, oh, so-and-so don't have that many numbers and shit. But what they doing behind the scenes is much a higher calling than anything. You know, brothers might not want to hear that shit because they want to go along and pretend. But at the end of the day, that's a real situation over there. It's gonna come a time that you're talking about world champion status. You know what I'm saying? You not only got Jahad Tucker, but you got freaking his brother Molly Tucker too. It's crucial, man. That situation is blossoming already. It's gonna be crucial, man. He only did because of your pictures with Bud at the weigh-in. Hey, man. Once again, I can say we was there. We was waiting on the weigh-in to begin with Shakur Stevenson trying to cut the last weight. And, to our unsurprise, there was a freaking reality show going on in the heart of Newark where, mobile phones was not present. They should have been actively running. So we could have seen this encounter with Bud Crawford in the streets of Jersey, catching BBS coming out of freaking 7-Eleven, chomping on a Chico stick and a glizzy, and all of a sudden, his glizzy is on the ground. He has Slurpee all over him. You know what I'm saying? And he's having to explain himself. Man, why you switching up on me, dog? Why you became an arch nemesis? I thought you said I was your favorite, absolute favorite. Where did all that go, huh? Talk to me, huh? That's all I want to know. I don't want you to, cut too much to the chase. I just want to know what I need to know. It's been on my mind. You didn't think this was going to happen, did you? I'm here in the flesh. I'm right before you. I stand in front of you asking questions for answers. Tell me, why did you switch up? What is this about? What did I ever do to you? I'm still undefeated. I'm still knocking them down. Why did you switch on me, man, and go over there to that guy? I'm telling you, what I'm going to do to him. You know what I'm going to do to him. You switch teams, man. And then he tried to come back on the YouTube set and act like he was able to play both. No, he came over here and now he wanted to switch back to Crawford. And see, I put the telegraph. I sent it out there. I said, hey, to whom it may concern in the LDBC, if you are the higher authority. I said, you might want to terminate Blue Blood Sports. You might want to terminate him from the group because he is attempting to play both sides as a double agent. But this is not about that. Let's get down to it. The update on Crawford Spence. So there seems to be a choir forming, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It seems to be the individuals that was Spence fans who are now Boots fans who trying their best to find a reason to jump back over to be a Spence fan. But the only way that they'll do that is that they hear some news about him facing Crawford again. And I'm hearing individuals come up with this information that Crawford is now all of a sudden avoiding Errol Spence. Why? Because Spence made it publicly clear that he had some type of situation with his eye. Now, again, we're talking about a guy who had existing eye problems or whatever that happened with McAlooey. McAlooey was up there freaking touching his freaking cornea with them gloves and shit, and he couldn't make the Pacquiao fight. Then he gets in there with Crawford, and they have 30 plus excuses as to why Crawford destroyed him. And see, for a long time, they wasn't talking about no freaking cataracts. They wasn't talking about these cataracts. You know what? That's what I was looking for. Hold up. I got the perfect one. They wasn't talking about no cataracts. They was talking about what again? They was talking about he was weight trained. It was every excuse outside of cataracts. Then all of a sudden, people are out here protesting, y'all. They're petitioning. The outcry was real. They say, hey, after this July 29th fight, there's no way that Errol can step back. Look, his own fans was in there. I don't want to see that. He shouldn't step back in there. He shouldn't step back in. This is his own fans saying they didn't want that man back in there. You know what I'm saying? This was his own fans saying that we didn't want him to step back in the ring because of the beating. Not to forget, you had individuals that was up here just coming up with different excuses saying that he was cheating and all this other shit. Okay, we got to always hit our recall button and bring that up. He was freaking, weight drain. Terrence Crawford was cheating. You know what I'm saying? He had loaded gloves. They played the clip and made so many freaking, circle marks in there like they was in biology and shit and talking about, look, even Derrick James couldn't believe it. He thought there was something in the gloves. That's why in this clip right here, he grabbed it because he was unsure. There's no way that Bud Crawford could have beat him. So we had to deal with that. So people got what they wanted. They found out Showtime was absolutely divorcing PBC, and then turn around that it found out for sure that Crawford and Spence wasn't going to fight in 2023. Shit is over. Done with. Then we come back around to 2024. And we're eager. I'm talking about we're eager to find out what the fuck is going on. And then all of a sudden, we hear the thunder and lightning on outside. And I explained to people why that shit was raining. Because, goddammit, he was about to commit the ultimate sin. Errol Spence had been on record saying, I was raised where you don't make excuses. Ain't that what he said? He said, I was raised where you don't make excuses. But now he came out with fucking excuses. He said, I was raised where you just take it and you don't make excuses. And then, not to mention, all his freaking fans was out here making excuses. And I guess he couldn't continue to fake it. So he said, you know what? It's a good time. It's raining outside, and God pissed at me. he pissed, man, and I'm about to lie. But then he put out this shit right here, y'all. He put out this shit right here. The biggest excuse of it all. Okay? The biggest excuse of it all. This man said, why you think I got hit with so many jabs and hooks? Still a great performance by bro. Let's have a moment of silence. Because whenever you have a death, that just killed his integrity. Let's have a moment of silence. If it was any integrity he had, let's just have a moment of silence. Seriously, I had to do that because I was on here giving Spence a little bit of bragging energy. I was like, man, I respect Spence for not freaking, coming in here with no excuses. He say, while his fans was out here looking crazy as hell, he said, man, where I come from, you don't make excuses. And then he started coming out here with this bullshit. So now in 2024, he comes out with cataracts, but yet he tell Crawford to get out your feelings. Now hold up. You're telling Crawford to get out of his feelings, but yet you're ignoring the fact that you're not looking at how this all played out. You're saying that you knew about this 3 years ago, leading up to July 29th. So July 28th, you knew. You're trying to convince us that you knew that you had cataracts, but yet you went in there with a guy like Crawford, knowing that he was a dangerous fighter. And you're saying you went in there and took the risk, knowing that you had fucking acute cataracts, and that's why you was taking the jabs and the hooks? Bullshit. Not only that, you step out the ring July 29th, you go to the post-fight press conference, and we're seeing the work. You know what I'm saying? Not W-O-R-K. I'm talking about W-E-R-K. Extreme Reckoning. W-E-R-K. Extreme Reckoning that happened with Bud Crawford. 30th, you're going through the healing process, but somehow, some way, you had the energy to punch your passport and go out of town, right? So we're not hearing anything from you. I'm thinking on the Crawford side, we really didn't care to hear anything from you because we was busy up here celebrating and Crawford up here going down the motherfucking street and freaking 2 boats. He couldn't get fucking one. He had 2 boats to make it twice as painful. And he was letting people know he goddamn caught the big fish, filleted it, cooked it, and the rest is history. Nothing told us that during that July 30th all the way up to January of 2024 that you couldn't go to the doctor because you had punched your passport. Your parents is retired, right? And you said you punching your passport. But when we expecting the rematch, you're out 8 weeks because you known about this for the past 3 years and up to the Crawford fight. But now you take the time in January 2024 talking about, oh, I had to get something done. I mean, it's bullshit all the way around, man. You know it's bullshit. Everybody else that want to vouch for him know the shit is bullshit. And he should be held accountable for it. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, now they saying just because, Spence said get out your feelings, that's supposed to be that Crawford don't want to fight him? I mean, let me ask y'all this. What does Crawford owe this guy? Like he did what he had to do, right? I mean, what does he owe him though? Real talk. What does Crawford owe him? I'm just being like, I'm just asking a question. Here's Crawford in case there's somebody in the chat that don't know how he looks or what happened last year. But a lot of us, millions of us, we were witnesses, y'all. I don't know if many of you all have been witnesses to a freaking act of violence like we witnessed in the Four Corner Quadrant. But last year in Vegas, we were a witness. Now, luckily, We don't have to take no stand and be on no trial. Luckily, it's other people that can vouch for this and said it was legal. But at the T-Mobile Arena in Vegas, an act of violence and assault was carried out that we thought after it was all said and done, we was going to get the rematch. We thought when it was all said and done, we was going to get a rematch. And time that the new year come available, 2024 is here. I'm saying anytime now we should be able to get that shit. And Spence come out with a full wheelchair. It's thunder and lightning outside. The motherfucking sky is freaking goddamn arguing his ass off, mad than a motherfucker. Because one of their own went from strap season to patch season. They didn't like that shit, man. That angered Mother Nature. Mother Nature, man, hell no, shawty. You represent me the wrong way. Fuck that. What make you think you can do that to me? How can these cats sit up here and say Crawford and what he should do? Just because Spence said get out your feelings, maybe the man want to hurry up and get the motherfucking fight out the way. Why didn't you do this? You saying get out your feelings, but yet you have people over here not understanding how someone can be frustrated, continually frustrated with you because you act like you're not competent, bro. You're not competent enough. You could have already went to the effing doctor, got this shit taken care of, and been in the healing process. No, you wait till 2024. And let's count the months. August, September, October, November, December, January. You're on your 7th month from July 29th. And now you want to address the eye issue medically and be out for another 8 weeks? Then you have to get cleared? See, karma, it is that bitch. See, listen to me, people. Karma is that motherfucking dirty, grimy, I'm talking about sinister. She is a person that you don't want to deal with. Because isn't this somewhat similar to what Kell Brook had to go through when he had an eye situation and he was out going through the healing process and they wanted an extension? And Team Spence said, nah, we want to fight. See, the good thing about Crawford, he doesn't have to cut off the timeline for you. He's already went in there and got the job done. See, you need to think about what you didn't do for Kell Brook, for what you want Crawford to do for you in this moment. And we don't even know if you all the way serious about trying to talk about get out your feelings. You may not even want the fight. I don't even think Spence want the rematch outside to get another check. Because if he truly wanted it, he wouldn't have waited to the 7th month to reappear with a wheelchair and talking about all my eyes. And then he was seen in a motherfucking Dollar Tree with a patch over the left eye. I'm telling you, man, this shit ain't right, bro. That shit don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? That shit don't make no sense. I can understand, man, why his fans were up here trying their best to find a way to get back on Team Spence. I get it, bro. A lot of people was impacted by this shit. The side effects are brutal. Brutal side effects. It make you just sit up here and sigh. I know I do sometimes when I'm sitting up here and I'm thinking about how dramatic that fight played out, the brutality that was involved, the lead up, the expectations, and the agony of the fucking defeat. I totally get it, y'all. I do. I understand why these Spence fans are confused and delirious. And he come out here and talking about, hey, get out your feelings. They want to jump back on the shit and say, well, I think Bud Crawford should fight Spence again. Because what about the 7 freaking months that you could have been healing instead of punching your passport? You could have got the surgery out the way if you indeed have cataract issues, and we could have been on board to talk about this fight in 2024. But yet, your raggedy ass fans are up here once again making excuses and trying to say what Crawford should do. What he should have done, he did. You know what I'm saying? All you got to do is look at how. I mean, really. How? And if you really want to be petty, just add a DY on that. Howdy, partner. Right, left, right. Left, right, left, right, left. Sound like I was in boot camp again. You know what I'm saying? Seemed like I was in boot camp listening to some cadence and shit. How, bro? You know what I'm saying? How can you wait 7 fucking months? And then they're coming up here and they're saying what Crawford should do for him again. I mean, what is he to do? Wait around? Now you got Spence out of the gym again? That was the whole deal. We didn't want Spence to stay out the gym too long. We wanted this man to get right back in the ring quick enough so he won't pick up all that weight. Because if the next fight was going to be at 154, at least we know that he was going to be within range and he wouldn't blow up too much. Because, we just don't want to see him, this fight be in Vegas, and he's struggling to make 154. Shout out to the Outlaw Pugilist, man. Salute to you, bro. Shout out to Big Blunts and Boxing on deck. What's good? Band on deck. We should have known after making excuses for everyone else. Crawford beat. It was only a matter of time before he made excuses for himself. Solid point, man. I mean, this doesn't make any sense. The Crawford Spence update for them to return. We're still waiting on that. We're still waiting on that to happen because, as you all noticed, right? This thumbnail, for all of you that's in the chat, this thumbnail meant a lot to me because I even commented on it. I said, this thumbnail right here, besides, up here telling the people that Spence got that dog in him, he was courageous, I was giving him props for this right here. He said, I was brought up where men don't make excuses. Even if I had one, I wouldn't give it to you. And this is why I said we should give a moment of silence. Because this man just killed his integrity. I guess his integrity didn't matter. He has his pops with his arm around him. Spence, a.k.a. Elroy III. He looking like he just goddamn had a rough MFing night. And I stood on this shit with Spence. I said, I can respect that because your fans out here, acting and looking like clowns, making up every freaking lie they possibly can. But Spence is standing on his principles. I was brought up where men don't make excuses. And then lo and behold, god damn, wouldn't you fucking know? We end up seeing the same shit come out about jabs. You know what I'm saying? I say, wow. Just when I was starting to kind of like give you the shit you was looking for, the little bit of credit, you took me back down to where I'm comfortable at. You know what I'm saying? I was peeking my head out too far. You took me back down there, bro. Real talk. You came up and you didn't want to goddamn give this man his credit. So what's next for this shit? They say the list is coming out, y'all. They say later on this week, supposedly, allegedly, the list is coming out of fights. Do you believe in your heart of hearts that Spence Crawford will have a fight date on there? Do y'all think there's going to be a fight on there with Spence Crawford? Do y'all think it's possible? Let me get back to this chat. At least 90% of Hall of Famers had some type. I read that. That would be considered in the East Coast. Shout out to Jessica on deck. I see you. Salute to you, Queen. He should have got that fixed when Bud was fighting Avocado. See, you have to look at it like this, Cobain. I don't remember him fighting a guy named Avocado. But I sure do understand that it makes no sense for him to leave negotiations without even fighting Spence one time. And Spence go in there and have an operation and further prolong the fight. I mean, look at this. They fought July of 2023. If he would have had an operation and he would have had to wait to get back in the square and get cleared before he fight, we probably would have got that fight at the end of 2023, probably. That shit probably would have been on New Year's Eve, man. Seriously. So I'm happy, to acknowledge that was bullshit. Him talking about his eye, I think that was bullshit, bro. It was bullshit. What's going on, MD? How you feeling, bro? I see you on deck in the building. I don't want to see a rematch. It's going to be more excuses, so the rematch ain't going nothing for me. They just going to say the same stuff. See, the reason why I brought up the shocking update, because I'm going to be honest with you. The update is they supposed to basically drop a release supposedly this week. And me, I'm gambling. You know how the song says, you got to know when to hold them. Know when to fold them. So I'm thinking that I'm not going to fold yet. I'm not going to fold yet. I'm going to try to play this hand out this week because everybody knows that it's Wednesday. And I've been seeing all the titles around here that PBC is supposed to be releasing and announcing the fight date this week, y'all. I don't like falling into the cesspool of disappointment because we have a lot of that on the YTC. All I want to know if it's going to be a fight date for either fighter. If it's going to be a Crawford Spence, cool. Let's see when it's going to happen again. Spence is out for 8 weeks. Then we're probably looking at the fight happen around July, August again. We heard rumor mill that, Crawford Zoo, but we haven't heard anything about Crawford Zoo pretty much being official. Like in talks, negotiating, all that. We haven't heard that. We haven't heard none of that shit. Now, we're just back where we was in 2022. We're trying to figure out if there's going to be a date that pops up if the PBC comes out with this fight schedule. Is it going to be anything that's going to shock us about Spence Crawford being on there? We already hearing rumor mill that Ryan Garcia and Rolly, after everything we just heard about him pulling out of this fight, they may be potentially still on. Rumor mill now. But what I don't want to be rumor mill is, the Spence Crawford fight. Andrew Charles on deck. I see you. Conquest 2 on deck. What's good? I see you, bro. Salute. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can understand where, you know, people are trying their best to get back on the Spence unicycle, because I can't say bandwagon. Bandwagon has too many wheels. Crawford went up there with a tire iron and goddamn broke all the motherfucking axles on that damn bandwagon. I'm serious. He fucked it up so much they had to come back and hop on a unicycle and both take turns balancing that shit. The bandwagon is over. He was swinging a tire iron. He was cracking axles. It's no way. It's not even goddamn rideable no more. So I can understand when they hear shit like, you know what? Spence said to Crawford, get out your feelings, Crawford. He should be in his feelings because he want to get this rematch out the way. And this is another thing that comes down to integrity. I want y'all to pay attention. Another thing that comes down to the integrity, lack of integrity with Spence. You want to know why? I'm gonna throw another motherfucking arrow. Look, this is the way my thought process. Let me show you right quick. This is my thought process when it comes to, you know, recall memory. This is my thought process right here, just to let y'all know. Let me drop this on y'all too. Spence said he had cataracts and he was aware of them years ago. What I don't appreciate, Errol Spence, is that once again you wasted our time. Listen to me, hear me out, people. You know why I say he wasted my time? Is that this man activated his rematch clause assuming that he already knew he had cataracts. That shit pissed me the fuck off. Why are you going to activate your rematch clause and you're saying that your shit was fucked up and you knew about this 3 years ago? How? Why would you do that, bro? If you already went through a fight and your eye was fucked up, supposedly, right? We can only attest after you fought Danny Garcia, right? So you went into the Udinas Ugas fight supposedly off your merit, and you're saying that your cataracts was active, and they was fucked up, and then you went through training and all that, and then you went in there with Crawford, and you saying your freaking eye was fucked up. Then why would you activate the rematch clause if you say you already had a pre-existing problem? Why would you waste all effing time for 7 months and wait to 2024 as if you're really going into a rematch? First of all, the rematch clause said it had to happen in 23, December. We knew that the divorce was going on with Showtime leaving. You fucked up a lot of shit, Spence. You fucked up a lot of shit. Because I could see if you was just damaged and you didn't want to go back into the fight. But you came out here after saying that I was brought up where men don't make excuses. But yet and still, you activated the rematch clause knowing that you had a cataract situation. I don't appreciate that. I'm serious. I don't appreciate that shit at all, bro. You're wasting my fucking time, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting up here putting all these different people. You know, it's like a kaleidoscope, bro. You're just putting all this wild shit together that Spence and people just overlook. Why did you activate your rematch clause if you had a cataract problem? Now we questioning your sanity, bro. Now we questioning, do you even give a fuck about your fans? Now we questioning what's your purpose in this game right now? Just to goddamn get a check, and then in between fights, you punching your passport? Why did you do that to the boxing community, man? You should have never activated your rematch clause in a loss if you felt that you had cataracts that was going to push you out 7 months. And then you're going to say, oh, all of a sudden, man, you know what? It got so bad I couldn't see. They was all over me. Like it was a swarm of bees. Them motherfuckers was all over me. I got to get something done about it. No, you fucked us over. If you wouldn't have said you knew about this shit 3 years ago, I wouldn't be talking about it. But you did. You say you knew about it three years ago, bro. That means you knew about it going into the fight, and then you chose to go on vacation instead of getting it fixed. And then in that 30-day period, you activated your rematch clause, just to waste fucking time. It's full of shit, bro. I ain't gonna lie, man. I need my compensation. I need my compensation like everybody in the hottest chat in the MFing game. We need our compensations. You know what I'm saying? Send those stipend checks out ASAP. We need our stipend checks. That shit's already been approved. Hey, we need our shit ASAP, bro. Period. Thinking about a rematch made his cataracts act up. Oh my God, man! Like y'all don't think about that. You know that don't piss you off, man. This man enacted his rematch clause knowing he had cataracts, man. Why would you fuck with us like that, man? Why would you once again show your fans the real side, bro? That you all over the place. I really believe you on one thing though. You say that's what you used to living out of pocket. I believe it, bro. The shit you do is out of effing pocket. I agree with you on that. The shit Spence does is out of pocket. Y'all tell me, why would you activate your rematch clause knowing that you had an active condition of cataracts, man? Why would you waste all effing time heading to 2024? Why would you do that shit? We understand that Showtime absolved its relationship with PBC. We got that shit, bro. We understand. But the chicanery, the foolishness that you played us in many different ways, bro. That's all I'm saying. Why did you activate the rematch clause is my biggest question to you, man. You had an existing problem that you say that was with you for a long fucking time, and you made it seem like you wanted to go back in there for another one, knowing that you had cataracts, and it was bothering. But yet you was gonna wait till this year, the hocus pocus of boxing, and goddamn come out in a wheelchair. Fuck that, man. Shit pissed me off, bro. That shit fucked up. I ain't gonna lie, that shit fucked up, man. It's fucked up. Too many motherfuckers play with the consumers of boxing. You know what I'm saying? Anybody ask that question, that's a legitimate question. You know what I'm saying? If I even come close to having a media scrum with Spence, that's the only question I got for him. I know somebody else, hating ass niggas, will go out there and try to ask it. Go right ahead, because I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't asking them shit. I don't have nothing to say to him, man. I don't have nothing to say to him. He ain't gonna sit up there and ignore me and bring up something I did. The only question I would want to ask him, bro, why enact the 30-day? Why? If you knew you had a pre-existing condition that was so bad and it'll affect you during the Udinas Ugas fight and it affected you in the Crawford fight, right? Look, you said, once again, listen to me, people, because it's all about, it's all about quality over quantity. Listen to me. This is what's perturbed. I'm perturbed. I feel some type of way. I do. I feel some type of way, y'all. Listen to me. Why would you do this? Hold up. Let me retrieve. Please, if you're doing a live stream, those of you that's out here, please, can you pass along this question that hasn't been out there and presented? Just help me find out an answer that I'm. Real talk, I'm searching for it. I'm searching for why would you continue to make yourself look crazy and your fans because you had a cataract condition. About this shit before the opening bell that he had cataract. Him admitting that he had cataracts. Post fight. Why did you activate the rematch clause during the 30-day period where you that you wasn't about to have any medical work done on your eye? No medical work done on your eye at all. You knew you was not going to the doctor, you was going on vacation. Am I right or wrong, people? This dude was going on vacation and he knew he had a fucked up condition. Or what he's saying. Fuck around with the boxing community and activate his. I'm serious. That's the. Fuck, I don't like that because you're just playing with us like we fucking stupid. Like people are not gonna, sit up here and break this shit down. Why would you do that to us? This shit don't make no fucking sense. If you weren't going to the goddamn doctor with all that money you just made, and you knew your eye was fucked up, so much to the point where you had to be A1 square one in there with Crawford on the rematch, why would you activate your rematch clause if you had no intentions of fucking going back in there and getting that fade back? Why would you do that, man? That's all I want to know. That's all I want to know, man. Why would you do that to your fans? It's just pretty much you saying your fans ain't shit, nigga. That's all you saying. You don't give a fuck about your fans. Because you're sitting up here making them look so crazy. They was up here, basically protesting and putting out biased ass narratives that you was weight drained and all that. And then come to find out, it's not even anything dealing with no weight drain. Your coach even came out and said, nah, he won't weight drain. That ain't true. And then, they try to bring up, situations dealing with Crawford. But for you, though, Spence, they said you have been in freaking division too long. Crawford even prognosticated this when y'all met up in Oklahoma that, hey, when I beat him, they said he was in division too long. He was weight drained and all this other shit. Then you get up to the moment knowing that you have a pre-existing condition of cataracts, and you go in there and get the paycheck, and you say you was brought up with men don't make excuses, but you turn around and make a fucking excuse, and you're guilty of lying to the people and activating a rematch clause with a condition that you say you knew 3 years ago. I don't know what to say about this nigga. I don't know. The nigga put it out there, bro. Nigga put it out there. I don't think Spence think about all the shit, how people can put this motherfucking storyline together. Why do you think I got hit with so many jabs and hooks? So he's saying, why do you think you? Because I had a cataract situation. I couldn't see. And then I hear, Fanon over there, he's talking about this shit like it's breaking news or something, saying what Crawford should do. Of you of all people, why would you suggest this man should do anything? Did you even think of this? Are you asking yourself, do you have any integrity as to the boxer that you supposedly go through the extreme and run a smear campaign on Crawford? Are you going to run a smear campaign on Errol Spence and ask why he activated his 30-day with a pre-existing condition that would hinder his eyesight in there with a beast like Crawford? I haven't heard you ask that on your show yet. Why is this nigga up here playing with consumers? This is supposed to be one of the biggest fights, and you're bragging about living out of pocket. And it's almost like you're telling everybody you knew everything about this supposedly eye. And you went in there and got your ass beat the fuck up. Instead of just sticking to what you said, you start making excuses like your fans was doing immediately. And then you supersede your fans. You hold secrets and lies. You know what I'm saying? You hold secrets and lies, bro. Because you went into a fight and now you're trying to claim that you wasn't 100%. That's why you was getting hit with all those hooks and jabs. But yet, my biggest question to you, Errol Spence, is why you activated the rematch clause and wasted our effing time for 7 fucking months as if we was going to get some type of clarity as to when we was going to see the rematch. Look, the Crawford fans, we good. The prize has already been received. I'm just saying that the prize has already been received. 2-time undisputed. We already got it. But that doesn't mean we won't. I wouldn't want to see a rematch. Because now, I was looking at this in situation. I said, yeah, I really want to see him get back in there now. You know what I'm saying? You came off as being a little bit understanding that you putting up all these tweets. I got my ass kicked. I got that. No, you bullshitting, bro. You activated your rematch clause, man, and waited to go to the doctor 7 months after the motherfucker. And you talking about your parents retired and you punching passports. What about your integrity, nigga? You got fans out here waiting to see, when you gonna recover to get back in there. You got your so-called raggedy ass fans out here vying that, what Crawford should do, what Crawford should do, what Crawford should do. What should Spence do? Nigga, you should be truthful with your fans at least. You wasn't even truthful with your fans, bro. You led them on too. The fuck ever, dog. Old habits die hard. Spencer's just used to Stalin Crawford. And Andrew, you know how they was saying that, at one point in time they was accusing Crawford of doing all this shit. You know what I'm saying? When he walked away with David Adrien, he wanted to stall him out again. You know what I'm saying? To make sure Spence was out of the ring for a long time. Yeah, Spence ended up being out of the ring over a year and a half. It wasn't anything due to Crawford stepping away from negotiations and fighting Adrien. That wasn't the case. But they was blaming him. They was finger pointing. You know what I'm saying? Extended arms, bro. Locked out joints. Locked out. They was motherfucking finger pointing and lip service. That's it. Jaw jacking. They was blaming that man for every fucking thing. But how can I get you to understand how disturbing this is when this man knew he had a motherfucking condition and activated the rematch clause and y'all said nothing about it? Y'all said nothing about him playing you all like a sucker. He played his fans like a sucker. This dude never had intentions of fighting a rematch anytime soon. Had he won, he wouldn't have said anything that was crazy. You know what I'm saying? It would have been all good, bro. It would have been all good. His fans, look, those of you in the chat. Come on, man. If Spence would have won that, look, I'm telling the boxing globe, the axis, the rotation would have sped up. Motherfuckers would have goddamn found a new what they call it, they would have came up with a new reason to live. You know what I'm saying? I found a new cause in life, a new calling in life. Look, these motherfuckers would have turned to evangelists. They would have been so happy that if Spence would have won, they would have turned to evangelist. I want to open up a church. I just want to give myself to the Holy Spirit, and and spread the word, the gospel, because God answered my prayer. Ooh, I was down hard. I had bet everything on that fight, and Spence pulled it out. I just want to praise his holy name. Can I get an amen? You know what I'm saying? They would have changed their life, y'all. They would have been up there at Burlington Coat Factory. Yes, I want to get 5 tailor suits made. Special. I got to spread the word of God. Do you know what happened last night? What? Errol Spence beat Terrence Crawford. Do you mind if I hold your hand? Can I just pray with you for a second? I just want to hold your hand, and I want you to feel from my spirit to your spirit. Errol Spence did the impossible. Man, come on now. Come on now. So would he give refunds for his no excuses hoodie? Talk that shit, Jessica. Oh, see, Jessica, initially when Jessica came in this chat, she was all quiet and shit. But hey, you dropping some classics now. I see you picking up your groove. You getting into your motherfucking rhythm now. You know what I'm saying? That's a good question. Will he give refunds for his no excuses hoodie? Man, you just gave me an idea. I'm curious. For real. You know what I'm saying? I'm curious. You know what I'm saying? Devin should focus on making a TO fight instead. I believe, the amount of champions Devin has faced, he can fight a freaking Adrien Broner. Real talk. Man, look who he's on face, from JoJo Diaz all the way up to freaking Regis Progress, man. He can have a fight like that with AB. And if it's in the A, man, all the better. You know what I'm saying? Ain't the whole reason they ride with him is because he's the truth? Man, y'all dropping some classics, man. I'm telling you, man. Hey, I feel you on that, man. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, or however you say that shit. 1964 Mary Poppins. Is that what it was? You know what I'm saying? Supercalifragilistic. I mean, he used to be the truth. It went from strap season to cap season. You know what I'm saying? Strap season to cap season. They love that shit, y'all. Ask them pro Spence channels that shit, man. Ask them why they walking around here so carefree without checking that nigga. How in the hell you gonna play people and waste our fucking time? You came in, you couldn't, you was off weight, you're running up a hill, making a freaking mockery of your team, running you up St. Charles, Mount Charles or whatever. And everybody got something to say about that shit. Then, no, hold on. Then, turn back around, you go in there and get stepped on. And then, you supposedly had a condition of all conditions that you need your eyesight to see those punches coming. You get beat up so bad. I'm talking about, let's go back to when he was there contemplating his career. You get beat up so freaking bad. Then you come out the back end of this fight. I had cataracts, known it for 3 years. And I got 30 days to goddamn fuck with my fans who wasn't fucking with me during this whole time. That's what it was. They was busy talking about Crawford. So either way, man, the boxing fans got fucked over. Yeah. Not the Crawford fans, but the Spence fans got fucked over. Because he went in there and lost badly. And then enacted his 30-day clause knowing he had a cataract situation. Then took their ass through the holiday season thinking that news was going to break somehow, some way. They was hoping the fight happened last year. But, since we was in 24, they was waiting. And this man comes out with a wheelchair. Somebody please link that together for me. Somebody send a search and rescue out there for that man's integrity. It's lost. It's been abducted. There's been an abduction, people. I want you to keep an eye out. No, this is not an Amber Alert. This is much bigger than that. This is a cap alert. Okay? This is a cap alert. I want you to all keep your eyes peeled, remain vigilant. This is a cap alert. We send a search and rescue out there to find where is his integrity. 3 years you fucked off your so-called fans that was out here telling what Crawford couldn't do. All along, you had schemes. You had schemes set up. You had motherfucking schemes, cataract schemes set up. But my people, I'll leave you with this right here. This is all I can say. You know what I'm saying? You play stupid motherfucking games, you get stupid prizes. That's all I can say. This man plays stupid games, he gets stupid prizes. But I hold true to all 10 that I don't appreciate it. You activated your damn rematch clause knowing you wasn't going to do shit. Y'all hold the motherfucker down, man. Shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game. I appreciate y'all. And I hope that if that fight is coming for Haney, I hope that shit happen. Real talk, I hope that shit happen. Real talk. And then, you know, everything else is going on. We'll touch it. We'll touch bases with that another day. I'm out. Peace. I'm out.
Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best, you gotta show me son. Actions over words, baby boy, is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come back sports, talking way too much, world come back sports, talking way too much, world come back sports.